Hello!
Ahoy!
Oh, that was a long one.
Yeah, it's a bit of embellishment there, wasn't it?
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 16 of Bottom of the Stream. I am
I'm
Adam.
Nick.
Oh, we said it at the same time.
Let's do that again.
No, let's not. Let's leave it. I like it. I'm Adam, that's Nick. Job done.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Something very exciting happened today.
All right, that's exciting. Tell me what it was.
I got a haircut and it feels amazing.
I got one on Monday. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
I feel like a new man.
Yeah,
Adam.
me too. My head feels like 2 stone lighter. I think it was my first one since like February.
That is crazy.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? First haircut of this season.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I've kept some length though. I got used to the length, so I've kept some of the length.
It's always good to keep a bit of length.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. I'm glad you've had a haircut. Things are getting back to normal.
Face for radio and all that. Face for podcast. But you still got to have a haircut.
Yes, always keep the hairs trimmed. We may get into the same room pretty soon as well, so we might be getting back to full on normal soon.
Yeah, I don't think we're too far off.
No, I think we're getting there, aren't we? Just get Leicester out of lockdown and we'll be all good, I think.
For sure.
For sure. Where do we start? Shall I run the socials?
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Our Instagram is the same at BOTS_podcast. The website is www.bottomofthestream.com, where you will find every episode we've ever recorded and all 3 seasons stream tables as they stand. You can also join us on Patreon, where we will give you some extra bonus episodes, some merch, some early access to episodes, and a wild card if you come in at a certain level. Quite apt for this week's episode. That is patreon.com/bottomofthestream.
If you can't do that, then please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, because that helps the algorithms and it helps put us in people's ear holes.
I've got a hole in my favourite jeans.
Is it an ear hole?
No, it's an annoying hole. I love these jeans. I've just noticed whilst I was doing that. I apologise.
Is it a crotchal hole?
It's a crotchal hole.
Oh no.
Not that I was looking at my crotch whilst I was doing the socials, but cool, that's the socials done. Have you been watching anything good at the top of the stream, Nick?
Yes. Well, I've watched some things. I'm not sure if they're all good.
Okay.
I watched a movie, a Netflix movie called Coffee and Kareem.
Oh right, I've heard of that. I don't know what it's about. What's it about?
Which is Ed Helms. So he's like, it's set in Detroit, and he's like a total whitest of white cops, and he is in a relationship with a black woman, and he basically ends up through very convoluted manner taking her son along on a whole case involving the Detroit underworld, and it's completely stupid. It's alright for an hour and 20 minutes.
It sounds like 2-on-1 with Nick Cage, or 2-11.
Yeah,
he goes on a ride along.
It's not. It's a similar concept, played very differently. Probably the best thing about it is the title.
Oh, really?
It's a good pun.
It is a good pun, to be fair.
So yeah, that was okay. Started, what else? Season 2 of The Sinner.
Your wife just texted me saying that film was really funny. So she can obviously hear you talking.
It's a thin door. That's good actually.
What did you say? Sorry, I missed it. The Sinner.
Oh right, yeah, season 2.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's very different to the first series.
Oh, is it? I've seen the first series, but I haven't seen the second yet.
Bill Pullman's half the man he was in the first series.
Oh really?
Yeah. He'd obviously been hitting the weights.
Been working out.
Yeah. But yeah, still very good.
Cool.
I've also watched a couple of...
You've been busy this week.
Unsolved Mysteries.
I've watched a few of them as well. That was on my list to talk to you about.
Okay, which ones have you seen?
I saw the man who fell through a hole in a roof.
Oh, me too.
With no way of getting to this roof. I thought that was really interesting, that one.
Yeah.
Probably the best one.
Yeah, I thought it was really quite compelling.
I'm not sure if they're playing them in an order. You know, we were talking about them playing things out of order last week, so I'm not sure if everybody's getting the same order that I am. So that was the first one I saw.
Yeah, I deliberately went out of order.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, because I watched the UFO one first.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It was fine, but it's, you know, how do you... It's just some people talking about being abducted by aliens. Yeah, It might have happened. Probably didn't happen. It doesn't really hook me in as much as the guy who fell off the roof.
Yeah, that was definitely. I've seen 4 of them. I think that was the best one. The one about the hairdresser that goes missing. That's quite good.
Right.
There's the one about a black guy who never comes home from a party. That's quite good.
Okay.
I can't remember what the other one was that I've seen.
The guy who fell off the roof, though.
Yeah, that's mad. That one.
I know it's unsolved, but it was clearly his shady mate has bumped him off.
Do you think?
Yeah, who owned the stocks and shares.
Yeah, I know.
Tips company.
But how?
Well, they all just clammed up, didn't they? And
yeah,
which, they won't talk to the police, so it's got to be that's where the trail kind of ends, isn't it?
I just don't see how he managed to hit that part of the roof when there's nothing above it for him to fall off. It's like he'd been shot out of a cannon or something.
Maybe that's what happened.
Anyway, yeah, check out Unsolved Mysteries. It's really, really good. It's really interesting.
It's like Homer Simpson out the cannon.
It's really interesting, but if you're a completist, you're not going to enjoy it because you don't get any resolutions at the end of the episodes.
Oh, no.
Because they're unsolved. Hence the name of the show. Anything else?
Just randomly after we mentioned it, was it last week? I've watched like 4 episodes of Spaced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From the start? Or just randomly?
Yeah, from the start. Yeah.
Cool. That's good.
Because it's awesome.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
It's
really,
such a great show.
Really funny.
It's a really underrated sitcom.
How about you?
I have finished season 1 of Community.
Okay, what do you think?
Loved it. Went straight into season 2. About 3 episodes into season 2 now.
Awesome.
It's really good. It's really found its pace now, so it knows what it is and what it's doing. It's really good. Abed is amazing.
Oh yeah, he's a ledge.
In fact, they're all really good in it, to be honest. I just can't believe I've never seen it before.
I thought you'd like it. It's just a matter of time of getting you to watch it.
It was. It's really nice. It's a really fun show. I also took one of your recommendations.
All right.
On Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night. I was a bit bored, so I thought I need to stick a film on. And this film came up that you mentioned before, and so I watched that. And it was Adult Life Skills.
Oh, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it.
That's great,
it's
isn't
really good, yeah. It's really wholesome and nice.
Bit emotion.
Very emotion. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, I must admit, but I thought I'll give it a go for the sake of the podcast. But yeah, it was good. Jodie Whittaker, Brett Goldstein, quite a few other British comedy actors.
Yeah, I thought it was quite sweet, and I did rain on my face a little bit at the end of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So yeah, check out Adult Life Skills. I think that's it. I don't think I've watched anything else this week.
Cool.
I've got a few little bits of Netflix news, if you want to hear them.
It. Yeah, news me up.
Dead to Me. Do you know Dead to Me?
I do.
The TV show has been renewed for a 3rd and final season. So that is coming back, but only for one more season. I think that's fair. I don't think there's a lot more that it can do. I think it will have told its story by the end of season 3.
Have you watched the second series yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stretching. Yeah. I know it's supposed to be kind of like soapy and stuff, but there were a few times in there where I thought it was stretching its credibility somewhat. Yeah,
I agree. But it did leave itself on a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the season, so I think a 3rd season is fair. The creator has signed a multi-year deal with Netflix, though, so... What was that?
My notebook fell off the desk. I apologise.
That's fine. The creator has signed a multi-year deal with Netflix, so she will be coming back for other shit. Talking of renewals, this one's come today out of nowhere that nobody was expecting. They announced that the 5th season of The Crown will be the final season.
Yes.
Which threw everybody for a loop because everybody who's played the Queen's had 2 seasons to do it.
Yes.
And Imelda Staunton was only getting 1. She's now getting 2. They've renewed it for a 6th season.
That's interesting because the guy who writes it had said right at the start that there'd be 6 series.
Yeah. But they announced that it would end after the 5th season. And it will not now. It will end after the 6th season. So Imelda Staunton will get 2 seasons to play the Queen. Came out of nowhere today. Nobody was expecting it, and they just announced it today.
Fair enough.
That's about it, I think, for news. I did check.
Go on.
Go on. No, you go first.
I was going to go on to something totally different, so you go first.
This is totally different as well. I did check our stats earlier today, and we still haven't had a listener in Vermont. And that's been a very long time now. So get listening in Vermont, everybody. It's the last state that we need to fill our map.
I don't know what these Vermontians are playing.
Nor me. If anybody knows a Vermontian, just get them to download an app. Don't even have to listen to it. Just get them to download it. Just so we can fill our map.
You do. You have to listen.
It'd be nice if they did listen, obviously.
I would like an update on the cliffhanger you left us with, which was that you were about to start playing Iron Man VR.
I have now played Iron Man VR for the last few nights. It's really, really good. You really feel like you're flying in it because the control system is all with the hands, like as Iron Man does fly.
Cool.
So it works really well. It is a little bit tedious after a while.
So what have you got to do? Just fly around shooting stuff?
Yeah, but every level is the same enemies.
Right.
So it's the story is that Tony Stark's retired from the weapons industry, and his old weapons have been purchased by other people and are now coming back to attack him. It's always the same drones that are coming at you.
Right. Okay.
I'm about
that does
halfway.
Sound quite repetitive.
It's good. The feeling of flying through the skyscrapers in Shanghai is amazing, and it is. I am doing it a disservice. It is really good. It's just I could have done with a bit more variation in the enemies. The story's really good. And you can customise your suit and add different weapons and things like that.
So are you always just flying around, or do you get to like hit the ground and have a run?
You are mainly flying.
Right. Okay.
You can walk around your own mansion as Tony Stark, and you can do things like go on a punch bag, or there's a basketball game you can play while you're in between missions.
Cool.
And you can, like as I said, walk around and customise your suit and talk to the other characters. Because there's like the gunsmith's there and Friday's there, who are his two assistants.
Sure.
The very first mission is brilliant. You get pulled out of a plane as Tony Stark, and you have to put the suit on as you're flying through the air, as you've jumped
sweet.
out of this plane. So it's like hold out your right hand, and you hold your hand out, and the glove just attaches onto your hand. And then it's like push your chest forward, and the chest plate hits, and then the head mask comes on, and then you can fly around. That's really good. But after that, it does get a little bit tedious.
Oh, that's a shame in a way.
I am really enjoying it, and I will complete it. I did stream it a little bit on Twitch, but nobody watched.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
No, I didn't tell anybody. I was more just testing if it worked. I might do more.
Nice.
I might get into doing some Twitch streams at some point if there's any
Cool,
call
well,
for it. Let me know if you want to see me fail at computer games on Twitch.
I'll sign up for that.
Awesome. I think that's it. Have we got anything else?
I've got a game.
Oh,
to play this
I
week.
love your games. Awesome. What we got?
I think I've forgotten again already. Back in our first season, we played this game.
Right.
And it was ridiculous names of horror movies.
I remember.
And you have to tell me if they are true or false. Or as I'm calling it, in a tribute to my Scottish heritage, I or lie.
Okay.
So I will give you
obviously
5 movie names.
Yeah.
And you just have to say I if it's a movie or lie if it's not.
Okay. I'll get my kilt on. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, we will start with Worm versus Blob.
That sounds like me and you had a fight. Worm versus Blob. No. Blob, I can understand that there's been films with blobs in, but worms? No. Lie.
You've watched Mongolian Deathworm. Of course there's movies with worms
Shit,
in.
I have. No, I'm still saying lie.
You're correct, it is a lie.
Yeah. I would like to see it though. Can we get that scripted?
Yeah, sure. I'll get straight on that after we've finished here.
Wicked. That's 1-0. That's good.
This is it. Okay. Number 2. It's my party and I'll die if I want to.
Oh, that definitely sounds like a real one.
It is real.
Yeah.
Well done.
There. Yeah. That sounds like one of those like scary movie era type films.
Yeah, doesn't it? Listen, I would say that's a lazy pun. I
Yeah.
think. Okay, the next one is the Killer Robots and the Battle for the Cosmic Potato.
Oh wow, that sounds fun. The Cosmic Potato. The Killer Robots and the Battle for the Cosmic Potato.
Correct.
Ooh. That sounds good.
It does.
It sounds like a cartoon. Is it animated?
No, it's I think it was shitty 80s film.
Yeah, right. It just sounds like it'd be animated to me. I don't know why.
No,
Am I 3-0 up?
you are, yeah. 2 left.
I'm really good at your games just lately. I don't know why. I've never got 5 though, so let's keep going.
Let's see how you do then with Slaughtered Vomit Dolls.
Wow. Is your brain weird enough to come up with that? Slaughtered vomit dolls. That sounds horrible. Lie.
I'm afraid it is I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Slaughtered vomit dolls?
It's about a woman with bulimia who sells her soul to Satan.
Wow. That sounds a lot more serious than the title suggests.
For some light entertainment. There you go. Check out Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. So
Wow.
one more.
Yep.
Awful Crab Woman meets the Nocturnal Squids.
Awful Crab Woman meets the Nocturnal Squids. That says to me that there's two films there that have been merged together, like Alien versus Predator. So there's a film called Awful Crab Woman, and then the Nocturnal Squids.
I mean, it's a technique that's as old as time, like you say. Alien versus Predator. Alien versus Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's loads more.
Freddy versus Jason.
Of course.
Awful Crab Woman versus the Nocturnal Squids. No,
Meets, not versus.
Oh, meets.
They might be
Just
friendly.
gonna have a coffee or something.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having that lie.
You're right, it is a lie.
Well, how did you come up with that?
Oh, it's just some random words, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It could be a film. Maybe I'll write that after Worm versus Blob.
Yeah, that's the sequel.
Or a
Maybe
spin-off.
it could be changed into Awful Worm Woman.
Or they can just be in the same universe. We'll get a
We'll have a
a
bottom
franchise
of the stream movie
out of it.
monsters universe.
Yeah, they go with what was it? Giraffe Woman and Dr. Slippery.
Dr. Slippery, yeah. Check out our Instagram for the images of that Ross Cook drew. What a hero. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we talk about this film, mate?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I think I'm
good
pretty
to
much done this week.
Good to talk about this movie.
Let's do it then. So, this week we watched a movie called Zombeavers. This was my season 3 wildcard pick. I picked this myself, and we sat down and watched it. Zombeavers is from 2014. It's a 15. It runs for a very short 1 hour and 17 minutes, and it's currently rated at 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. I think this might be the shortest film we've ever done.
I think it's got to be. Yeah.
That 77 minutes is short.
Yeah.
Don't think we've done. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but I don't think we've done one shorter than this. Stars a lady called Rachel Melvin, who plays the character of Mary. You will know her if you've watched Sleepy Hollow, the TV show. She was in 13 episodes of that.
I have watched that, and I did not recognise her.
Oh, fair enough. She was only in 13 episodes of it, but I don't think there was many more episodes than that of it. So.
There was at least 2 seasons, and I'm pretty sure we watched them both.
Well, she was in it.
Okay.
She's also in Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Is that called Dumb and Dumber 2 or Dumb and Dumberer?
No, I think it's Dumb and Dumber T.O.
Yeah, it is. But Dumb and Dumber is better. Also stars a lady called Courtney Palm, who plays Zoe. She's been in lots of things, but nothing that you probably would have heard of. Written and directed by Jordan Rubin, and also co-written by a guy called Al Kaplan. And they currently are making a Critters TV show together.
Oh, right, okay.
So, you remember Critters from the 80s?
I mean, from this movie, I can definitely see how they got that job.
Yeah. They're reimagining it as we speak. Do you have a one-word review of my wildcard picnic? Picnic?
Can I go, please, with Toothy?
Toothy. You very much can. I like that one. So, let's talk about Zombeavers. Where does this film start?
We are in a van.
We are.
We're driving along the highway.
Yep.
With two guys transporting a load of waste.
I've written medical waste. Yeah, I think it was medical waste in like big barrels.
Yeah. And they're kind of talking back and forth between themselves, aren't they? And one of them says to the guys driving, "Are you? Can you see that deer?" And he's like, "Yeah." Unfortunately, he happens to be on his mobile phone, and they just plough straight through the deer.
Yeah, they destroy it. That did raise a little chuckle out of me, actually, when he said, "Yeah, I can see it," and then he just hits
it was
anyway.
it was fun.
It was quite funny. During the collision with the deer, a barrel rolls off the back of the truck and lands in a creek, and it kind of floats off, doesn't it, down the stream, down the creek or the stream. And as it's doing that, we follow it, and there's like an animated intro sequence over the top.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. So it's
Nor
like
was I.
the credits and various cartoon beavers
Yeah.
are superimposed over the real footage of this barrel floating down the river.
It was quite good. It was quite well done. I thought.
Yeah, I liked it. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Did you pick up who was playing the passenger in this van?
No, I don't think so.
The guy with the moustache and the
the really bad
hair.
moustache and long hair. I don't think I picked up who it was.
It was John Mayer.
Oh, really?
Like uber famous guitarist, and
I did not pick that up.
I think may have been. I'm not sure if he was married, but he was definitely attached to Jennifer Aniston for many years. Yeah, so I'm not sure why he's turned up in this, but
That's
there
a
he
random
was.
cameo.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good. Good spot. Well done. We follow the barrel until it eventually grinds to a stop in front of a beaver dam in the middle of this lake. I suppose it's a lake.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's like a creek that forms.
Yeah, it turns into a creek. A creek into a lake. A creek.
A creek.
Let's have a great creek.
And when it hits there, it kind of sprays green fluid all over these two little beavers who look like rejected Muppets.
Yeah,
I think is the way I describe them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all practical effects, isn't it?
Yep.
So we're talking puppets here.
Yeah, we are, absolutely.
And that kind of, it was a nice throwback, wasn't it?
I'm happy for it.
They didn't look good, but that was kind of the point.
Yeah. They look like really badly looked after teddy bears.
Yeah.
They've just been bedraggled and...
They were mangy beavers even before they got zombified, weren't they?
We've watched a lot of this type of film, and there is a place in my heart for really bad CGI monsters in this type of film. But I like also when they do practical effects. I think it kind of works. It works either way for me. But I think because these are little critters, I think it had to be practical effects.
You wouldn't have seen as much of these if they'd have gone with their CGI.
Poor CGI. No, you're right. You wouldn't.
It would have all been off-screen stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And it very much isn't in this film.
No. They're
little animatronic, terrible-looking angry-looking beavers. From there we go...
Angry Beavers, that's a different show. That was a kids' show, wasn't it?
That was a kids' cartoon show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From there we go to a gas station toilet where a girl is on her phone and she's got a text that says "I'm sorry" on it. And she gets interrupted by a guy because for some reason she's in the guy's bathroom. And she heads back to the car, and there's two other girls and a dog in there. And it turns out they're all going away for the weekend because the girl who we'd met earlier, who is Jen,
yep,
has split up with her boyfriend, or is having boyfriend troubles.
Yes.
So they've gone away to a cabin in the woods.
This is strictly a girls' weekend.
As opposed to The Package, which was strictly a boys-only weekend.
Yeah.
In that film we did in the first season, and some girls turned up. This twists that. As they're driving, they drive past this young lad who's gone fishing, and suddenly his rod shoots off into the water, and he tries to save it, and something attacks him. So that's just like, oh, something's not right here. That's just the setup scene, isn't it? Never see him again. Never hear from him again.
Sure.
But they need to set up that something's not quite right.
He gets beavered straight away.
He does, straight in the beaver. The girls arrive at the cabin, and they instantly meet the nosy next door neighbour that is like a stereotype in these films now. She just turns up, and she basically just introduces herself, and she knows one of them because one of them owns this cabin or knows the family who owns this cabin.
Yeah, Mary is. I think she says it's like my cousin's cabin.
Yeah,
or
I think she does
like
say
that.
it's her cousin's cabin.
And the neighbour says, "Oh, I've not seen you since you were a little girl." All that sort of stuff.
Yeah. They quickly realise that they've got no service on their phones, and these girls who are millennials freak out completely. They can't be without their phones for very long. And Mary's like, "Come on, we're gone away for the weekend. You don't need your phones. You can be all right. You can survive a couple of days without them." So they decide to go and catch some sun. They go sunbathing.
Just before that as well, they've got a dog as well. I can't remember if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mentioned that he was in the car. I don't.
And just as they're having this argument about having no phone service,
Yeah.
and how terrible this is. It just, for no reason whatsoever, I don't even know what is in the film. They just cut to a shot of this dog and it just pisses on the floor.
They do. That is very true. I wonder if that's what attracted the beavers.
I don't know. I just was like, why?
Why has that happened? You're right. I remember that. How weird.
And also, while they're in the house, you get your first look at what I have called Beaver Cam, where you are in the head of a beaver and you're sort of just below the waterline, aren't we? Looking at the cabin.
We are indeed. That is used quite a lot, isn't it, in this film?
Yeah.
The girls get changed. They decide to go and do some sunbathing. There's like a raft in the middle of the lake, isn't there, where you can go sunbathing and kind of jump off.
There's always a pontoon at this.
Yeah,
sort of
pontoon.
place.
That's a good word. They call it a raft, but it is a pontoon. They've got their bikinis on, obviously, and you get your obligatory boob shot quite early on. I think is it Zoe gets her boobs out.
Yes, the one. Yeah, she's the one who's really angsty.
Yeah, she's the boisterous one, isn't she?
Obnoxiously sarcastic to everyone.
Yeah, she's horrible. So yeah, she for the next couple of scenes now, she's just got boobs out, and they are lying on this raft, and they spot like a dam over the other side of the lake, like a beaver dam, and they go and take a look. One of them jumps in, and they go over to take a look.
Yeah, because Jen says, "I've always wanted to see a beaver."
Yeah, and it's when they get there, it's covered in like green slime liquid.
Yeah,
which they decide is obviously beaver urine.
Of course it is. Yeah,
because randomly they spot a huge bear.
Yes, a bear turns up. Yeah,
a bear turns up, and a man comes and he's got a gun and he scares it away. And this is Smith with a Y, as he introduces himself to them as. And he says to them, "What are you doing?" And they say, "We were looking for beavers." And he says, "Well, ain't we all?"
All the men in this are horrible, like gammony.
Yeah, gammony. Nice.
Misogynists, like the ones that they run into at the truck stop. This guy is, he turns out to be alright, but they've all got this like, oh, hey up, there's some young flesh around.
Yeah, you kind of well, he does tell them to go and cover up, and this isn't that sort of town.
Yeah.
He's not that much of a sleazebag. At that point, I thought I'm going to do a count of how many beaver puns there are in this film, or beaver jokes. And it turned out to be not as many as I was expecting.
I think it wasn't.
There are some.
There were some, but yeah, they didn't.
I was expecting a lot.
They didn't lay the beaver on thick.
They really didn't. Yeah, he basically tells them to cover up, and then he leaves them back to their cabin. That night they eat some popcorn and they decide to play a game of Would You Rather. And I didn't catch what it was, but there's a really horrible Would You Rather that one of the girls comes up with.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, I can't remember what it was either. It was something like...
Would you rather watch your mum get murdered by your dad or be raped by your dad while your mum watches?
Yeah, brilliant.
Great, yeah. It made me cringe. I was like, oh, I don't even want to think about that. The game gets broken up quite quickly though when they hear a noise outside. So Zoe, who is the big boisterous one who's not scared of anything, goes out to investigate. And they all end up outside, and they all manage to get locked outside. The door locks.
Yeah, get stuck out on the porch, don't they?
Yeah. And then the boys show up. So Mary's boyfriend Tommy shows up, Zoe's boyfriend Buck shows up, and then Jen's boyfriend Sam comes out from inside the house.
Yeah.
Somehow he's got in there. This really reminded me of the package because it is the exact mirror image of the scene in the package where the boys don't want the girls there.
It is. Yeah.
It's pretty much word for word the exact scene. So the girls have a discussion about whether they want to let the boys stay or not. Zoe's invited them. She's told them where they're going. And Jen agrees to let the boys stay, even though she's in a real bad way with her boyfriend Sam. Zoe and Mary take their respective boyfriends off to the bedrooms.
I'm pretty sure someone actually says bone zone as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Buck. Jen and Sam sit awkwardly in the lounge as they can hear naughty noises going on in the background. It turns out Sam's been caught cheating. Jen's found a photo of Sam with another girl, but you can't make out who the girl is.
It is an unidentified female because it's like you can just see the back of her head.
Yeah. But it's clearly Sam kissing this girl.
Yeah.
Which is why it's awkward between them. She slaps him and then she slaps him again and then they kiss. and then she knees him in the bollocks.
Yeah, he goes down like a sack.
He really does. This is the point now where we meet the first Zombeaver, I guess.
Yeah, so Jen goes to have a shower, doesn't she?
Yep.
And she pulls back the shower curtain.
Yep.
And the bathtub is just full of Zombeaver.
Yeah, it's got one great big Zombeaver in it. It was brilliant. Not going to lie. It made me laugh out loud. It's just, you could tell it was a man with his arm up it.
Oh, yeah.
Just waving it around and making angry noises.
This is the first full proper look you get at the puppetry. And
Yeah.
it is like something out of a kids' TV show.
It really is.
Just gone a bit wrong.
It really is. She freaks out. She screams and runs back out into the lounge. And they all come running out to see what's going on while she's screaming. And they decide to go back to investigate. They don't believe her, obviously, because you wouldn't. There's a zombie beaver in the bath. So they go back to investigate. And obviously nothing's there. Buck starts taking the piss out. Buck's the one who's gone in. He starts taking the piss out of her. And suddenly it jumps out of the kitchen cabinet, the bathroom cabinet, and attacks him from behind.
Yeah.
Tommy manages to smash it with a baseball bat. And that's the end of that. They kind of lock it away, don't they? Don't kill it.
No, they think they have. They bag it up,
they think they have.
They?
They put it in a bag and put it outside.
Yeah, put it back out on the porch.
Yeah, and this is where beaver joke number 2 comes, because Buck says, I've never seen a beaver before. And Zoe says, maybe you should go down on me more often.
That is the level of humour we are dealing with.
It really is.
There's so much beaver punnage they could have gone for, and they didn't at all.
No. The dialogue is poor in this. The beaver scenes are hilarious, but the dialogue is really bad.
So they all kind of, as I say, they turn around and go back inside, and obviously just as they shut the door, the beaver bag moves.
Yeah.
And that is it for the night.
Yeah, Buck suggests an orgy because they don't want to all split up, but they kind of shut him down quite quickly. And we cut to the next morning, and they decide they're going out to do some swimming in the lake, I guess, and just hanging by the lake. So they've all got their swimming costumes on and bikinis on. As they walk past the beaver bag, they notice that it's now empty.
Yeah.
There's blood all over the bag, and there's footprints coming away from the bag, but they figure something's just came and taken it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well,
another animal's just come.
Foxes have had it or something.
Yeah, foxes. Beaver pun number 3 comes when one of them says that'll be the only beaver Sam's getting this weekend, even though he didn't get it.
Yeah. Because he was the one who didn't fight it.
Yeah. They go swimming. They're all lying. Jen's lying on the shore.
Yeah, Jen is now very beaver wary, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think she'd be near a beaver.
She's lying on the shore because she needed to be away from the other guys, and because for this scene, I think that's why it's written.
Oh yeah.
Sam and Mary end up on the pontoon together. The rest of them are swimming in the lake, and it is revealed at this point that Mary is the girl in the picture with Sam.
What a bitch!
Mary's Jen's best mate, and Mary's reluctant, but not overly reluctant to let Jen find out. She doesn't threaten him or anything.
Yeah, but she's not. She's well, they're both as bad as each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Because Sam's kind of like, oh, well, maybe we should see if this goes any further, and she doesn't exactly bat him off, does she?
No.
They're both arseholes.
Pretty much everybody in this film is.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's nobody who's really endearing in it.
No.
Suddenly they're gaming about, and Buck ends up going under the water, and they think he's joking about something attacking him until he surfaces holding his own foot.
Yep, his foot's off.
Somebody's bit his foot off. Not somebody, something's bit his foot off. So they freak out, as you would. Your mate's foot's just been bitten off, and they all head back to the pontoon. And as Jen, who's still on dry land, kind of rushes back to the house, the cabin.
Yep, she's going to call for help.
She's going to call for help.
But the intelligent beaver has chewed through the phone wire.
Yeah. And it's quite clearly the beaver that's done it, because there's claw marks all over it.
Yeah.
Just in case you weren't sure.
Marks up the wall, yeah.
Meanwhile, the beavers start attacking the raft and burrowing up through the bottom of it. And one attacks Jen. Now, this is the same one that we met earlier on.
Yeah, because it's it's mashed in the middle, isn't it?
It's like half a beaver.
So it is together,
Yeah.
but it's held together by sort of stringy cartilage and guts.
Yeah.
Because Tommy had bashed it in the night before. And that was pretty cool, actually, from a practical effects point of view.
Yeah, it was. The guys on the raft decide they need to have a distraction to get back to the dry land. So Sam grabs the dog. We should have checked doesthedogdie.com before we started this, because yes, the dog dies.
Yeah.
They chuck the dog into the lake. The beavers get distracted because the dog swims off. The beavers get distracted by it, and they all dive in and manage to escape. They manage to get back to dry land. The dog does not survive.
Remember when we watched what's the shark movie?
Bait.
Bates. They did the same with the dog in that, didn't they?
They did. It turns out this film is just an amalgamation of season 1 of Bottom of the Stream. I think it was even the same type of dog.
I'm not good with dogs. It looked similar. It was like
a similar size.
It was like a.
I think it was a Jack Russell. This one.
Yeah, dog from Frasier.
Frasier dog.
That was a Jack Russell, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Jack Russell. The one that's attacking Jen is still attacking her. She's now on the kitchen counter with it on top of her, and it is now half. She's managed to break it in half, but it's still attacking her.
And I really could have done it without this directorial choice, but she's on the kitchen counter, like legs akimbo, and we're in like beaver cam.
Yeah,
we nearly saw the other beaver.
We did. That's very true.
I was like, I don't.
Surprising, really, that we didn't.
Yeah.
She manages to stab it in the head, which kind of pins it to the counter, but it is still going.
Oh, it's still gurgling away, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It gets stabbed a couple more times as well. The rest of the guys get back to the house, and Zoe kind of loses her shit at Sam for killing the dog. And this is where they all start arguing from that point, don't they? And it's like
they do. Relationships
start to fall apart at this point. And this is where Zoe reveals that Mary is the one in the picture with Sam to Jen. That's confusing. There's too many small girls' names. Jen, Sam, Mary. Jen, Zoe, Mary, Sam.
Sam's a boy.
Sam is a boy. Oh, it was so confusing. Book. Zoe reveals that Mary is in the picture with Sam.
Yeah.
Who is Jen's boyfriend. They all said, we all know. Tommy didn't know who's Mary's boyfriend. And it all kind of kicks off. But suddenly the beavers come back. And it's nighttime now, and there's loads of them outside.
Yeah.
And they've got like glowy eyes, haven't they?
They have.
So you can see
the little white dots outside.
Yeah. Sam gets the head of the one that they've killed now. That one is dead now.
So he's kind of angry, isn't he, from the whole reveal of the cheating. So he goes a bit crazy in the kitchen, and he decapitates the house beaver and just lobs the head out the door.
Yeah.
And it is only now, several hours after they have been back from the pontoon and swimming in the lake, that they decide they should probably try and save Buck.
Yes, because Buck's had his foot cut off,
and he's just been bleeding out on the couch.
How he has not bled out now. They tied something around it, but it wasn't even anything that.
It was the dog's life jacket.
It was not going to stop the bleeding. He's still conscious. He's not bleeding. No. That foot does not bleed at any point whatsoever in this film. But yeah, Tommy decides that they need to go and get Buck to a hospital and try and get some help. So he says, "Give me your car keys. I'll take him to the hospital." And somebody goes with him.
It's Zoe and Tommy. Take Buck.
And they run out of the house. They manage to get to the car and they drive away. And at this point, I've written, why didn't they all go?
I don't know. And they actually say that.
They do, yeah, they do.
Because once the other three get to the car and drive off, I can't remember who it is. One of the characters said, "Oh, why didn't we all go?"
Why didn't they all go?
This next bit was my favourite line in the film.
Yeah.
Because it just came out of nowhere. So you cut to the neighbour's house, so the elderly neighbours.
Yeah.
And it's the first time you see like Mr. whatever his name was.
Mr. Neighbour.
And his wife says to him, "Oh, what they're doing over there, making so much noise?" And the guy goes, "Did you pick up what the guy said?"
No, I don't think I did.
He said, "It's just those. Don't worry about the noise. It's just those kids scissoring each other and listening to Lady Gaga."
It really made me laugh. That was a great line. That guy was quite good. He only had this one scene, but because he was talking about going over there and joining in with the college girls, wasn't he, and things like that. And she was dead against it. And the scene cuts away, and he's kind of sitting on his armchair, petting his dog. It's like lying down at the side of him.
He's like reading a paper, isn't he? So he's absent-mindedly petting the dog.
But obviously, that ain't no dog. He's petting a beaver. Cut back to the car, and Tommy's driving. They get to a point in the road, and unfortunately there's a tree down, because beavers can chop trees down, and they've managed to block the whole road.
They sure have. Work fast.
They do. Parked up near the tree, though, is a truck with some guns in it and an axe in it. And they're like, well, let's tool up, let's arm ourselves. We don't know whose these are, but it can't hurt to tool up a little bit. But unfortunately, suddenly, a tree falls on Tommy.
Yeah, it's a great shot by the beavers.
It really is, yeah. The beavers are chewing this tree, and it falls on him and crushes him.
Assassinated by tree.
Yeah, Tommy's done. Is he the first death? Yeah, he is the first death.
Yeah. And then out of the woods turns up Smith.
Yes, the guy we met earlier, and it's his truck. So Zoe and Buck decide to go with him in his truck, but they head back because they can't cross the road, so they head back to the cabin, don't they?
They do.
Meanwhile, in the house, Sam and Jen and Mary are left in there, and they've decided to start barricading it. They've boarded up the windows, put stuff in front of the doors, boarded up the doors. But unfortunately, beavers can eat wood, and they start eating through the barricades.
Yeah, so they're sort of trying to fend them off through the gaps, aren't they? Sort of stabbing them and bashing them.
Really poorly stabbing them.
Yeah.
She was basically just grazing it with this knife.
Yeah. But yeah, the beavers are attacking the house.
Yes. They do retreat at this point, though, because the truck pulls up, and Buck and Zoe and Smith get out, but Sam doesn't want to let them in, because they've only just finished boarding up the house.
Yeah.
He thinks they're safer inside. But the beavers come back all of a sudden, and Smith starts shooting at them, and they leg it. They decide, well, let's get to the neighbour's house then if we can't get in this one. Then we get the obligatory explanation scene from Mary of why she did what she did to Jen. She just comes across as a dick, and Sam comes across as a real dick.
Oh, yeah, completely.
At this point. I hated this guy. He was an absolute knob jockey. When we get to the neighbour's house, both the neighbours are obviously dead now. The man's kind of dead on the floor in the lounge, and the old lady's dead on the bed upstairs.
So just going back to the bit before, because Sam says something to them it's something like, oh, once we're out of this situation, you two can decide between you which one of you gets me or something like that. And it's like, it's not written. Yeah, totally. It's not written funnily.
No, it's not. He just comes across horrible.
Obnoxious.
He is really obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty bad, but he's like the worst.
Yeah.
And there's no... I'd like to know if that was by design or not, because there is zero charm to any of the people in this movie.
No, there's really not.
It's flat as anything. I'm not expecting them to be, well-drawn characters, but they're like... It's almost the opposite. Like, they've gone out of the way to make them as unlikable as possible. I don't know why you'd do that.
It makes it fun to watch them die. That's the only way I can imagine why you would do it. It's just more fun watching horrible people die. I think that's all it is. Anyway, where did we get to? Oh yeah, they're in the neighbour's house now. Both the neighbours are dead. Zoe's like, we need to get Buck to the hospital because I've still got his foot here. And Smith's like, oh, you might as well throw that away. It's pretty useless now.
Yeah, it's been hours.
It's been hours. Why have you even still got it? And he's really like that, isn't he? Like, why have you still got that? It's not going to be any use. You put it straight on ice, so that'll just kill it even more. Smith wants to hold up till morning because beavers are nocturnal and only come out at night, which...
he says they're more active at night, so we may as well wait.
Which is the most sensible thing anybody said in this film so far.
Completely.
Cut back to Jen, and Mary's now lying on the bed upstairs.
Before that, so there's a scene where they're in the three of them are sort of in the living room, and Mary's got a beaver book, so she's just
she is. She's like reading
looking
facts.
at all these yeah, she's looking at all these beavers in this beaver book, and she's like, "Oh, they're magnanimous. I can't speak. What's that word? No, you can't speak either.
What is the word? Monotonous.
We'll cut all that out. You know the one where you're married to only one person.
Magnanimous. I don't know.
I've broke you.
My brain's gone.
And Jen says, "Oh, not
magnanimous."
Like us, then." No, that's different.
Oh.
And it's all gone wrong. And there's loads of other beaver facts.
Yeah, but yeah, the joke is not like us. Then
someone says we shouldn't. One of them says we shouldn't argue like this. We don't want to turn against each other. That's what the beavers want. Which I quite like that line as well.
That is good. I'm going to get that by the end of this episode. I don't know what it is. Anyway, in the next scene, Mary's lying on the bed upstairs. Is she not? And
yes,
Jen comes in and starts to seduce her. And she's kind of crawling up the bed, isn't she, on top of her? And
sure.
It's like, we're going to get the obligatory lesbian scene now.
Yeah, and Mary says, again, because, these people are just completely full of themselves. She's like, you never cared that Sam cheated on you. You cared. You just wanted me all along.
Yeah. Suddenly, this film takes a real left turn because at this point, Jen turns into a zombie beaver.
Sure. Why not?
Her front teeth extend and she grows a tail, like a beaver tail.
Yeah.
And obviously Mary starts freaking out because her mate's just turned into a beaver. And she's screaming and Sam suddenly runs in and he whacks Jen with a bat. I did not see this coming.
No, me neither. How much did the beaver person remind you of the Easter Bunny from Holidays?
Yep. I was going to say that. It really did.
In a
lot less creepy.
In a million years, I never would have guessed I'd have seen two monsters look so similar.
Yeah. Especially with how random that was.
Yeah. One a rabbit person and one a beaver person.
Yeah. I was going to mention that to you. That is so weird that's happened. There's probably only 2 films in the world where that happens. And we've done them both in this season.
Yeah, in like the space of a month.
Yeah. It's horrible. She's down, hopping around on her hind legs. And she's got this big tail and she's kind of banging at the door to get out because they lock her in the room, don't they?
Yeah. They start she starts like banging her tail on the floor and that's like the signal for all her beaver mates to come and attack. Yeah.
Cut back to the other house now where Smith and Zoe and Buck are. Buck's in a pretty bad way. And suddenly, he turns into a Zombeaver too.
He does.
Out of nowhere. He manages to attack Smith and starts eating his face off.
He does. He literally flips him upside down.
Yeah.
And
he's got him over his shoulder and chewing into his face.
In the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man,
yeah,
where there's that really famous scene where he's upside down and he kisses Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
It really is.
Except this is a zombie beaver chewing his face off.
A zombie human beaver.
Yeah.
Chewing this hunter's face off. Zoe gets the gun, she tries to shoot him, but she misses and manages to shoot Smith instead. And she manages to escape upstairs. We cut back to because we're now in 2 houses. The film's now set over both houses.
Yeah.
Mary and Sam have managed to lock Jen in a room. But more beavers start to break in. They're kind of tunneling up through the floors now. Come back to the other house, and the old lady neighbour she's also now a zombie beaver, or a zombeaver. And she starts attacking Zoe, who's locked in a room with her, basically.
Yeah, she's rips a load of her hair out, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. And Zoe decides what I'm going to do now is jump out of this top floor window.
Yeah. Through
the glass.
She's going to take her chances.
Yeah, so she dives out this window, lands hard on the ground, surrounded by grass and glass. This film's properly now kicked into gear. This is such high tempo at this point, isn't it? Everything's all happening at once.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And It's really good. They're coming through the floors.
I like this. This is a clear a tribute to the time-honoured game of whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Because the beavers are popping up through the floorboards, and Sam and Mary are trying to brain them as they're popping up through all these different holes. I thought it was quite a nice touch.
It was a nice touch. Sam's got a baseball bat and he's kind of hitting them. But then the next time he brings his bat up, it's been eaten and he's just got the handle of the bat now.
Yeah.
Because it's wood and beavers eat wood. Mary and Sam managed to lock themselves in the bathroom, and Mary makes Sam take all of his clothes off to make sure that
of course.
Because she wants to make sure that he hasn't been bit or bitten. And he does. He gets completely naked and stands there, and she examines him, and then he makes her do the same thing. So they're both completely naked, and then they start kissing.
Yep. And then as they're doing that, back out in the kitchen/living area, a beaver goes on fire.
It does. It eats through an electrical socket.
Yeah.
Manages to set itself on fire, freaks out, sets the curtains on fire, which sets the house on fire. Suddenly, whilst they're in the bathroom kissing, Jen bursts through the floor.
She does, yeah.
Even though she was upstairs, she managed to get down and into the tunnel underneath. And she bites Sam's dick off.
She does, yeah.
She
How's
manages
that for
to
payback?
She manages to eat him. Who was it? Who's left? Mary. Mary does a runner from the bathroom, just as Zoe manages to drive a truck through the wall.
She does well to avoid. Mary does well to jump out of the way.
Yeah, she does. She jumps completely out of the way. Zoe does well to avoid the porch that's outside.
That's true. Yeah.
Which made me think. So yeah, they managed to get away. They're Mary and Zoe get in this car. Is it the car? Yeah, it's the truck, isn't it?
Yeah, they're in Smith's truck.
Yeah. Suddenly, Zombeaver Smith starts shooting at them, and they crash the truck into a tree, don't they?
They do hit it to a tree as they are escaping in the truck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like flash cuts. So like you say, they're being shot at by the Smith Zombeaver.
Yeah.
Jen's like now on the roof, like thudding her tail. And did you catch that there was also a bear beaver zombie?
A zombie bear. Zombeaver bear.
Yeah.
Did you catch who is credited as the role of the zombie beaver bear?
No, I did not. Who is?
The Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay.
Just the whole band are credited as playing that role.
Right.
I'm confused by that.
Me too.
It clearly was a man in a bear suit. It wasn't earlier in the film.
Well, they
that
went
was a
all
bear.
like... Yeah.
This is a
like
man in a bear beaver
bear.
suit. Yeah. This is a man in a bear beaver suit.
So were all the Backstreet Boys like on each other's shoulders, like when in spy films?
I've no idea.
Like when kids get on each other's shoulders in a really tall coat.
I've got no idea how that's happened. How they're all credited in that role.
I like to think really that's strange. What they were doing.
Anyway. Maybe they're all really short.
Which Backstreet Boy? What order would they have been in?
I don't know them. I know Nick Backstreet's one of them.
Nick Carter.
That's him.
Their surname's not Backstreet.
Oh, I thought they were the Backstreet Boys.
No, they're not all brothers.
I don't know any others.
I think Kevin would have been at the bottom.
Is he one?
Yeah.
Is he the big chunky one?
No, Kevin was the thin, older one. Kind of looked like a white Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Then you had AJ.
You with your Backstreet Boys knowledge.
He was the one with the shades. Who else was there? Brian. He's the one that could sing.
Was he really called Brian?
Yeah. Howie? I think it was Howie. And then Nick.
Well done. If you've got that right, I'm very impressed.
Thanks.
And they're all on top of each other making this zombie beaver bear anyway.
Sure. The other thing it reminded me of was South Park. Where
was
that episode where there's Man Bear Pig?
Yeah.
That's what this was.
It was. At this point now, everybody who's been in the film is a zombie beaver. They're all just running around chasing this truck. There's human ones attack the truck. Zoe manages to run over Jen.
Yeah.
And run and squash her head. Literally, the wheel goes over her head. Cut to you see the neighbour guy eating a tree, which manages to fall down, but it just misses the truck. And they get to the tree that's blocking the road. They manage to get to the tree.
Yeah, which is where they left the car the first time.
The first time, yeah. And they decide, well, from this point now, we've got to walk. Zombie Tommy is under the tree as a zombie beaver.
He's just like twitching, isn't he?
At no point has he been attacked or bitten by a zombie in this film.
No.
He has turned into a zombie beaver at death. At this point, Mary pulls a gun on Zoe because she's like, "You must have been bitten. We can't both have avoided that."
Yeah, she's like, "You're covered in blood. What the
hell's gone on?" So Zoe says, "Look, don't shoot me. Wait until I turn and then shoot me."
Yeah,
which is
she's
fair.
like, "I jumped out of a window. I'm telling you, I've not been bitten."
Yeah, which is fair. So she's like, "Wait till I turn and then shoot me." But then the opposite happens. Mary turns and Zoe destroys her with an axe. She basically just dives on her and just axes the shit out of her. And she leaves. She's the sole survivor of this film. She walks off. And then we cut to the same trucker guys that we met earlier. At the very start of the film. And they do the same joke, don't they? So
they do, yeah.
One of them says, "Have you seen that girl in the road?" Whilst the driver's on his phone. And he says, "Yeah, I've seen her." And then they run Zoe over.
Spat.
And the film ends. You get a bit of a blooper reel at the end, which is quite funny. But nobody survives this film. Everybody dies.
I mean, we said it's short, an hour and 17 minutes, but that's a long length of time to just tell a joke, isn't it?
Yeah. It really is.
Because that's what these bookends made it feel like.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, overall, what were your thoughts?
I liked some of it. It made me chuckle quite a few times.
Yeah.
I was going to say I liked it more than I thought I would, but I still came away disappointed.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I didn't... And that's not because I was expecting it to be amazing. I was expecting more punnage and more...
There's a lot of humour left.
Silliness.
There's a lot of humour left that could have come out of this.
Yeah.
That you can get a lot more humour out of it. But it's entertaining. The first 20 minutes are pretty shit, I'm not going to lie. Establishing the characters when the characters are all horrible people. But when it kicks in, it's really good fun.
It's fun.
It's really good fun.
I did like the animatronics.
Yeah.
It felt like a throwback. That's clearly what they were going for.
Yeah.
And the only charm there was to this was the Beavers.
Yeah.
Because it certainly wasn't in the humour or in the acting or the characterisation.
It wasn't, or the script, or the dialogue,
no,
or the characters, or
the Beavers were pretty cool.
The Beavers are cool and they're entertaining. And I love that everything in it is practical effect. There's no CGI in it whatsoever. It's all people in puppets and animatronic beavers. Even the bears, a man in a bear suit. It's good fun. I thought it was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
What it was,
it's stupid, and you've got to expect stupid.
Sure.
It's a film about zombie beavers.
What it was a studio movie trying to capture some of that, like, so bad it's good type stuff that you get from like The Asylum and those sort of movies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think at times that's maybe why it was a bit clinical, but it's an hour and 15 minutes long. It's got beavers. What more could you want?
It came at a time when all these pun names were coming out, wasn't it? Like Sharknado and things like that, Mega Shark and Crocosaurus and things like that. And it came as like a humorous side to that, because who expects a film about zombie beavers? And it's literally just beavers because they start with B, as in zombie ends with B. It could have been zombie bunnies, but it just I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I really am partial to this kind of film myself. I know.
Yeah, sure, I have no issues with this sort of film.
No, you love it as well.
It just does what it says on the tin. It's my criticism would be, like, as you say, I think they did leave some of the. It's like they went all out for the blood and guts, but I feel like this could have been more fun. Yeah,
there's not enough dialogue humour in it. There's a lot of stupid puppet humour, but there's not enough humour in the dialogue. Like I say, there's only 3 beaver puns in the whole film, and one of them is really not funny. So, but you could have done a lot more with that. You really could. It's a shame, really. Maybe Zombie Beavers 2 or Zombeavers 2. Should we talk about? Oh no, we don't do the string table yet. We need to do our trivia question.
Oh yeah,
because it's 8-5 to you at the minute, and I need to claw some points back. So, do you want to go first?
You could do with chewing a bit back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Who's going first?
You are. I've made
Okay.
the decision.
Okay,
Hit
so I will ask you a question about the very first shot in this movie.
Okay.
What is the name of the medical research facility from which the van is? It's literally the first shot is a shot of the name of the.
I wasn't paying attention at the beginning. I feel like it began with an M.
It did, yeah.
Oh. I feel like that's in my head somewhere.
You've only got another 9 letters to add on to
9?
That. Yeah.
I feel like that is in my head somewhere as well. No, don't know.
It is the Mamamranek Medical Research Facility.
How was I supposed to know that? Mamamranek.
I thought you would have written it down.
I didn't. I wrote down the name of the town that the film's set in.
Okay, what was that?
Do you not know that? That might be my question.
Oh, okay.
I've got 2 questions. I'm going to go with a harder one just to annoy you. Whilst Tommy and I want to say Mary are doing the naughty, you notice that Tommy's got a tattoo. What is Tommy's tattoo?
I've got no idea. Is it a...
It's a number, if that helps.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. It's the number 7.
No, it is not. It's the number, randomly, I don't know why, it's the number 140.
Oh, okay.
He's got it quite big tattooed on his chest.
Best dart score?
Could be. The camera does stick with it for quite a while, so I didn't know if you'd have wrote it down.
I didn't spot that.
Did you know the name of the town?
No.
Ah, I had that. If you'd have asked me that, I'd have been happy. It was called Ashwood.
Oh, okay.
And it had a population of 4,080, according to the sign.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do remember seeing the sign.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't write that down.
So it sticks at 8.5.
It does.
After 16 episodes. So there's 9 episodes left in this season.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. I'm 4 behind. I need 5 to win. It's getting tight. I need to start pulling them in. Shall we talk about stream table?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want me to run through the whole thing, or do we want to stick to an area? Or
I'm not really sure on this, so I could probably do with a recap.
Okay. So currently at number 15 is Deadly Detention, sits bottom of the stream. Thoroughbreds is 14, Holidays is 13, 12 is Acts of Vengeance, 11 is Ark, 10 is Tau, 9 is Time Out, 8 is I Kill Giants, 7 is Take Me, 6 is Mute, 5 is Peelers, 4 is First Match, 3 is Bad Day for the Cut, 2 is Fast Colour, and currently number 1 is The Bad Batch, and you can see that on our website if you want to. It is all there. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, me neither.
I don't quite know where to go.
I feel like it's around Acts of Vengeance, but I'm not. I don't know if that's low.
Well,
I think I preferred it to that.
Let's do it this way then. Is it better than
For a
Holidays?
starter. Yes.
Is it better than Acts of Vengeance?
I think I enjoyed it more than Acts of Vengeance.
I think I did as well. Is it better than Ark? For me, it is.
I think I would have it above Ark.
That brings us to Tau.
I think I enjoyed it more than Tau.
That brings us to Time Out.
That might be as far as it goes for me.
You don't think it's better than Time Out?
I don't think so.
Personally, I would. It's not better than I Kill Giants. As a film, it is not better than I Kill Giants. I personally think it is better than Time Out, so I would possibly have it there.
Okay.
It doesn't go any higher than that. It isn't better than I Kill Giants. It is better than Tau. Those three, that's close. It is definitely somewhere between Time Out and Tau.
Put it above Time Out.
Yeah? So
yeah.
I think that's fair. Time Out's a good film, but it had its shortcomings.
Yeah,
Zombeavers is a lot more. I'd watch Zombeavers again over Time Out again.
Yeah, I think I would.
It's a lot more fun. So 9th. That's
respectable.
That is respectable. Where did so that's Ross's wild card was Ark, so it's beaten that. What was Jordan's was I Kill Giants. So it's not beaten that. So Jordan's currently winning the bottom of the stream wild card table, but I'm just behind him. So you need to pick a film that's better than I Kill Giants for yours to win that this season.
It's in the bag. In the bag.
Talking of next films, Shall I cast my rod into the stream and see what we can pull out?
Yep, let's randomise away.
I'm going to press the button right now. Okay, it's picked a film called Super Dark Times. Have you ever heard of Super Dark Times, Nick?
I have not. I have no idea what Super Dark Times is.
Do you want to have a guess?
I think it is about a... it follows a family around as they get used to the advent of electricity in their home.
I like that.
That sounds like the most boring film ever made.
It is not that. You'll be happy to know. Super Dark Times is from 2017. It's described on IMDb as a crime drama horror thriller.
Covering all the bases.
It says, teenagers Zach and Josh have been best friends their whole lives, but when a gruesome accident leads to a cover-up, the secret drives a wedge between them and propels them down a rabbit hole of escalating paranoia and violence.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a whole different world to where we've been this week.
It's directed by Kevin Phillips. Don't think the footballer, but it might be.
I think it's unlikely, but we can check that out.
So yeah, go and check out Super Dark Times, and we'll come back next week and we'll talk to you about it.
Cheers.
Bye.